Let's see. So, I have been informed that we've done a really, really good job of telling you all sorts of stuff, but I've forgotten to tell you about things that are important. I'll let that sink in for a moment. No, we were talking about functions, so let's mix it up a little bit and talk about what functions really are, right? The things you do, like the things that maintain behavior, right? It's the stuff that behavior gets you. Well, what are they? There's a lot, okay, if we really get down to it, but we're going to break those down into some general categories, okay? So the first function that you want to worry about is, oh, I almost said something completely stupid. Let's see, escape or avoidance, okay? So escape, we call it escape avoidance, or you can do avoidance for escape, or escape, anyway, there's another weird one in there. So escape and avoidance, anyway, the point is that if you have a noxious smell or something that's really nasty, you might want to escape that, right? And it might be reinforcing to get the heck out when you smell that particular smell, right? So, oh, I feel better now that I got away from that crap. Think of a nasty fart, you know, that sort of thing. When you get away from it, you feel much better. So that's escape. Avoidance is like, you know, that person that's doing all the farting, you'll probably avoid them in the future. It's really hard to keep a straight face with this sometimes. Sorry. The pragmatics of this stuff becomes a little bit overwhelming at times, folks.
That's another bad pun.
Right? Sorry. They're everywhere. We can't stop today. So escape avoidance is what leads to, escape avoidance is really negative reinforcement, right? So that's the loss of something that maintains a behavior, the escape of something that maintains a behavior, the prevention of something that maintains a behavior. That's all negative reinforcement. So that's one big class. Another big class is attention. Right? Everybody knows about attention. Attention is one of the biggest, I don't know, classes of functions out there, I suppose. It's like so much is done for attention, even when you don't think it is. So sometimes you go, oh, I wonder why that behavior is going on. Maybe you should test to see if it's attention because it's so popular. All right? And sometimes you have escape, and then that combines with attention, which gets really weird. So we'll talk about that probably in our advanced courses, escape attention or whatever you call it. Anyway, then we have, let's see, access to things. Just access to cool cars, access to people, access to sex, access to toys, access to everything. Social reinforcers, physical stuff, edibles, tangibles, primary reinforcers, food, sex, water, secondary reinforcers, money, and everything else, right? Which also gets you into the condition reinforcers and all that stuff. So the point being that access is a really, really popular one, and it's really common to have that as a thing that maintains behavior. In other words, a function. Didn't we talk about another one? Oh, automaticity, right? So automaticity, I mean, sometimes you engage in behavior that the reinforcer is automatic. There's nothing you can do to stop the delivery of that reinforcer. Masturbation is a great example. Try it. Just go to the bathroom, put me on pause, go to the bathroom for about 10 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe even 3, and see if you can masturbate for a couple of minutes without enjoying it. No good feelings, no nothing. Tell yourself this isn't going to feel good, right? And you even do it out loud. Nice antecedent intervention, right? So nice and loud. This is not going to feel good while I touch my... The point being that you can't stop that. It's a good feeling. It's a biological thing. There's not much you're going to do to prevent that. There's a bunch of stuff out there like that. Cigarette smoking, chewing, a lot of that stuff, alcohol, all those effects are automatic. So there's not much you can do to change that. Depending on what type of person, what types of behaviors you're working with, some of them produce automatic effects. I had a really funny thing set up here. Where was it? Oh, you can just follow me for a second. We do kind of like to prepare for these things, and then we get so in front of ourselves that we forget what we're doing. So this is I'll let you figure out what's in it. There's nothing quite like the smell of, I don't know, what is that? Lacquer thinner and paint and everything else that came off of prepping the other stuff here and maybe doing some other painting that's already happened. I love the smell of the stuff, right? It's automatic. And that's just nothing huffing paint, right? You wonder why people do it? It produces an effect. Okay? And that effect, could be happening right here. Some people get totally addicted to this sort of stuff. You shouldn't be around this without a mask on, and I do wear proper masks usually. But I was just making a point that you never know what the reinforcer is going to be. Because for other people, if I open that lid and went, and wafted that at you, you'd be gone. Right? It's a pretty aversive smell. It's not everybody likes it. For me, I love it. I think the smell is great, which is one of the reasons why when I paint, I always wear a mask, because it's way too nice. It's one of those things that I know better, right? And that I can deal with that. It doesn't smell too bad. It's not about smelling bad. It's about being poisonous, right? So I like the smells of those, so I make sure that I wear my masks all the time. But that's an automatically reinforces me, I would assume. It's a smell that I tend to really enjoy, but other people not so much. So different strokes for different folks. What is the function for my behavior might not be a function for your behavior, even if it's the same behavior. Right? So keep that in mind. This stuff is highly individualistic. There is the broad picture works for everyone, all species. Right? But the narrow picture is that each reinforcer, each function is different for each person. And when you really start to get confusing, stuff comes under multiple control. In other words, one behavior could have multiple functions. Right, now you want to try to change that behavior, you're going to be tackling all those functions. Anyway, there's so much to get into here. This was just supposed to be a little bit of a video about the different functions that are available for behavior. So there you go. I'll go back to huffing paint.